Hello everybody, my name is Rosencrantz and this is Guildenstern. We are very much still alive.
Just kidding, it's Aaron and Ari here. Welcome back to another episode of a podcast where two theatre people who are fairly unqualified in theatreness talk theatre.
Before we go any further, I would like to address the audio of this episode, which we already know will be a little bit weird because we were trying to stop crackling from happening and I still haven't figured out how to do it. Sometimes it comes and goes and I don't know what it's going to be like today. I think I'm just going to use the camera audio. So I apologize, but just...
Banh me.
Because what happened...
I think that was pretty good.
I think, yeah, that's the tagline. That should be the tagline of our show.
That should be the episode.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
More crackling than a pork banh mi.
Sometimes the episode title is like 45 minutes in. I think last week or the week before it was like, but this time,
that.
immediately,
you've got it in. Right off the bat.
You don't need to even wait for anything
so
anymore.
that's it, that's the episode. Thank you very
until
much.
next time. No.
I thought we were just going to use the camera audio.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, sorry.
This is a backup. Just in case
if it ends up
crackling. What happens is usually if this starts good and gets bad, I'm hoping that this is going to start bad and then fix itself.
Get better.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, hello. It seems like I'm having to make more of these than I would like. What I just said about the audio starting bad and getting better actually did happen. It was meant to be a joke, but at about the 10-minute mark, the audio drastically improves. So I'll come back and I'll warn you when that is, but the audio is going to do a quick shift because the start of the video is a bit crackly and then fixes itself. Hopefully this is the last time. I don't know.
It's probably not true.
Always believe that it will get better.
Never believe it stops crackling.
So, it's magic. Poof.
Poof.
No crackling.
Speaking of magic,
No.
we've been creating things. So
Magic.
there's this writer that I really like. His name's Alan Moore. He's a comic book writer.
Right.
And he's a wizard. He claims that he's a wizard.
You're a wizard, Harry. No, I'm just Alan. What's his name?
Alan Moore.
Moore.
But he's an old man. He's an old wizard. But the way he rationalizes it is that this will come around. Trust me.
What comes around comes around.
He says that because spells are incantations where you write down spells and they evoke reactions. Writing is, or at least creative writing is modern day spellcasting, where you write incantations that make people feel a certain way. I like that as a poetic explanation of what it's like to be a creative writer. I think it's. But anyway, speaking of magic, now that I have prefaced myself, we have been writing.
Oh, that's where that was going.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
That's where I was going. So yes, we have been working on the show, various points in the past week. We have been prioritizing other things that we've been doing, which we'll also get to. But in terms of the show, we went to record all the lines so that we could learn them.
I guess the first we read through from A to B.
Yeah.
The show for the first time.
Yes.
I think ever in its current form.
In its current form.
So that was exciting.
Yeah, it was good. I think to hear everything, and a lot of it still was.
Chronologically as well. Like I feel like we've been doing a lot of jumping around. Like,
which actually was really useful because of how much of it we went. Oh, hang on, actually this doesn't work in sequence.
Yeah.
It would be better for us to fix certain things, so it actually ended up being more beneficial. And what was going to be just us recording lines to be learned ended up not recording. So it ended up being a good exercise in finding out the chronology
I just
of
realised
the piece.
it didn't record at all.
It didn't record at all.
In my head I was like, oh, it just didn't record to the focus right. I was like, we'll still have the recording on the other cameras, but I forgot we didn't record it like we did the podcast.
Yeah, so there is none of it.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, that's a live reaction.
Okay.
That's okay. I will record my lines for you if you would like to learn them.
Yeah, well,
But
alright.
anyway, that's okay. I think it kind of did kind of give us a reminder that there is still more work to be done. Although that work needs to be done because we're going to put the show on. So
you know what's funny? As we were recording, I kept alt tabbing to the our waveform page.
Yeah.
To like check how long, like the time.
Yeah.
And didn't once notice that there were no waves. Like,
That's
hello,
okay.
is anyone in there?
That's alright. You know, you get tunnel vision. It's been a busy week for you especially, but also me. And you know, we're happy to be here. Happy to talk about stuff. We're in a new location for all those listening.
I feel like it's a new location every week.
Yeah, we've
really
been changing it up a lot.
Maybe that's the
I don't
goal. We have to have. It has to be a different. Actually, no. Let's not.
Next week's gonna be outside. No.
In the
I
car.
say
We could do a car.
episode.
The mic's like through the window, but the mic stands outside of the window, not in through the side windows, and we're just parked. That would be funny.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how we go. We're saying many things that we'll do.
You know, we'd be better off recording with lapse.
Yeah, true.
To avoid the crackle.
Well, I did buy a new audio recorder for myself for my own work that I was also going to, and also was for this because it's going to make things a lot simpler. But yeah, that audio recorder, we'll see how that works. Hopefully next episode you'll be able to see the differences.
Hopefully.
Because well, I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Either way, I bought it for my own stuff.
When we find out it's our voices, they crackle internally, and no one ever told us. We're like.
You and I are both so like electromagnetically charged that whenever we're near electronics, it just like, you know.
Yeah. Feedback, but in the static form. Anyway,
But yeah, so the show is coming along because we want to get it finished, obviously, and performed before September. Yeah, so we're doing pretty much everything we can to make sure that kind of goes ahead. So in terms of line learning and polishing script work and blocking and stuff. Ari is a person who likes to learn lines before we block, which I found out 2 hours ago.
I hate not knowing my lines.
Yeah.
I like being overly prepared, which requires me to like memorize the script before I even walk into the rehearsal room.
Yeah, which means we need
Which is a good thing to promote high if you want an actor that's on the ball and will know their lines before you probably even have cast me. I will do that.
Big lines, big fan.
Yeah, I don't like holding a script. I feel like as soon as I'm holding a script, there's excuses. I'm making excuses. Yeah. It's like an excuse.
Yep.
To all the people that do that, it's fine. It's chill. It's just me and
For the first time in my life, I held a script at a point where I shouldn't have last week. And I was so disappointed in myself. It kind of crushed me, you know. And it was for one scene. Every other scene I had word perfect. And I was there and I was like,
I've got a script in my hand.
And it just killed the vibe.
See, even if I'm in a position where I feel like I should have a script, I just don't hold it.
No, that's fair. The only thing is I had no idea what the line was.
Oh, neither do I half the time sometimes. I just listen to what the other person says and go, I feel like my character probably would say something like this at this point in time, potentially maybe, oh, yep, cool, they responded well,
there's
great.
Your Meisner coming in.
We just hope.
So yes.
So I will go away. Now that I don't have pressing learns to line, now that I don't have pressing lines to learn in the next 2 weeks, I can spend a little bit of time on these lines.
Yes.
So fun.
I realized that, so I've been looking at different ways now to get more stuff made for me, which we'll talk about later on, because I have fun stories about that too. But I was like, oh man, it'd be nice to just get like some money so I can buy some more equipment just to up, or at least pay. Actually, I don't want to buy any more equipment other than this one sound recorder for the podcast. I just want to be able to get to a point where I could pay actors just for their time, and also more of a crew. Like, I don't need to buy equipment. I like to buy people, or at least
people.
But you know what I mean. Like I feel a lot better being able to supplement people for their time for a project, rather than just being like, hey, just it'll be good.
It'll be fun.
And that's fine. That's something that I wanted to start doing. And I was like, how do I do that? Do I just like work for a bit and save up some money? And I was like, oh, why don't I just put on the show that we're doing
and make money,
and then make money from that and use that money to subsidize the next thing? And I was like, oh yeah, of course. That way, because
it's almost like that's how people do it.
Yeah, it's almost like, because in my mind, I don't know why this is, but it's always like I find it really hard spending money on creative things, even though like it's the same as you turn it off.
There was a wall plug on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
Even though it's like, you know, it's an investment in my own career stuff, but I find it really hard to spend money on like creative tools with money I've made from working. But if it's money I've made from creative stuff, it's really easy because it's just like, oh yeah, this is feeding in, because that's every time I make something, it's always like whatever money I make from this is going to feed into the next thing and the whole process of it. So yeah, I'm like, okay, good. I'm just gonna do the show, which we will do, and the money from that show will go into whatever I'm doing next, which will be fun. So. We don't know when that will be. Well, it'll be before September. So we're getting lines learned to get to that point. We haven't done anything else. We haven't really blocked anything. We haven't gotten into a space, but that all comes later. But we have we have been doing a couple of shows. It's been a big performance week for us. Yes. So it was very busy. But now we're on the tail end of that.
Yes.
I was talking to somebody on the show, one of the shows that we were doing. about line learning, and they were talking about how they always have like not nightmares but dreams about being unprepared on stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like literally, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I have this literally all the time, and like, suddenly everyone was like, oh yeah, that's a very normal thing, and I think, and they were like, oh, it's like our version of having the exam dream, you know, where a lot of people have that. I don't know if you also have that dream, but I don't have that. But I
have all the dreams.
You're a big dream person.
Yeah, I have lots of dreams. A lot of them are in the daytime as well. I'm not a night dreamer. I dream in the day as well. Like I'm,
Oh yeah, daydreaming.
I'm dreaming now.
Yeah. Whoa. Head in the clouds. Hashtag head in the clouds.
Quite literally though.
Yeah, but I mean obviously I've never been unprepared for a performance ever, but I'm always worried I will be, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm always prepared for a performance is because I'm scared I won't be. So then I over prepare so that then I'm fine. You know, I don't know. I just think it's interesting about what you were saying about always being prepared for lines. I think that's part of it. Because without it, you know, you're not going to be prepared.
I'd say like preparation's an interesting thing. Like I feel like I'm never prepared, like from like a lines or like a blocking or whatever. But there's like an element of preparation that you can do that's separate to all of that. You know, it's just like intrinsic preparation. It's just like I'm prepared to do whatever the hell it takes to get from A to B. That's my preparation.
Yep.
I'm prepared to do whatever it takes. However means, whatever I gotta do to get from the start of the play to the end of the play and take the final bow. You know, that's it. That's all. That's my preparation. You know, because I feel like I've been in way too many scenarios where I've been thrown in last minute to things that I'm not prepared to do, have no, like haven't had a rehearsal or haven't had enough rehearsal or whatever. And so the only preparation one can do is prepared to do everything you can to, you know,
make sure that you make it out.
Yeah.
Don't forget to perform.
Yeah,
that's the cheating.
I'm back. Okay, this is my transition to say, from now on, the audio will be much nicer to listen to. So, yeah, back to the video. Thank you. It's been nice since we did our last performance in this kind of busy week, and just like not have to think about the shows for a bit. Because that was kind of all I was thinking about for a good, like, especially in the week and a half leading up to it, because they were very, like, quick, put together shows.
I did not sleep the night before that show.
Yeah.
At all.
I don't know how you can do that.
I didn't sleep. I was so stressed. But I wasn't stressed for the show. I was stressed for the audience. We were performing to kids, and they happened to be kids that I was, like, work at the school
work kids.
for. So they're kids who, know me quite well. And so that made it so much hard. Like I don't get nervous on stage per se. Like I get like a little bit of like pre-show excitement jitters, but I wouldn't say I get pre-show like nervous jitters. Like I'm not the kind of person who's off stage going, oh my god, I'm like excited.
Yeah.
Like there's adrenaline. It's like happy adrenaline.
We're adrenaline junkies.
Adrenaline.
That's what we are.
But for the first time ever, I won't like stay up late before shows panicking. I'll stay up late after shows being like, I need to calm down.
Yeah.
But like. For the first time ever, I was like running through all these bad scenarios that were happening, and I was like panicking, and I was like, oh my god, it's not gonna be good, it's gonna be bad, I'm so scared, this is terrifying, and just wasn't sleeping. I was like, well, dear me. So finally I'm getting sleep now because that's done.
Yeah, that's nice. Hopefully you can
for a month until we take it to Auckland.
Yep. Well,
that's okay.
Well, more than a month. It's a while away. Couple of months away. It's not too close.
But we'll start rehearsing again in a month.
Yeah, that's true. I'm hoping that, there was a point where I was like, I was running lines 3 times a day leading up to the show because I didn't know them in the last rehearsal, and then that was the last rehearsal before performance. Well, I didn't know all of them. I knew most of them. Yeah. And I was like, I need to know my lines for the performance. And now I haven't touched them since the show. And I think I'll be fine. I'll do it every few days now. Every few days I'm going to do the lines and have it well.
I'm just hoping mine are somehow in osmosis in me.
Well, that's the thing, right?
I'm just hoping that somehow they
some of the other shows
brain.
that we've been redoing. I've noticed that I don't know the lines and I read them once and then I know them again immediately, and then it's unlocking. It's like a zip file on your computer, and you extract it, and then you go extract all, and then suddenly all the lines are there. And you go, I know these lines. Hi, I know how to speak now. I remember what the lines say. But that's those are the important things, because other than that, I forget things immediately after a show. I know you know all of your lines forever, which I still don't know how you do.
This is a really disappointing thing that my brain is full of junk.
Well, I don't know if it's junk,
but it doesn't. I don't need my Year 7 musical lines.
Yeah,
really don't need those in my head. you know, I wonder why I struggled through uni, and it's probably because my brain had no space for anything else. It was like, sorry,
Storage
you've still
full.
got that's one solo song you had, you know, in like prep. You know, that's still in your brain.
That's not going
Come
anywhere.
on.
Sorry. Oh,
Literally,
man.
I think like back to year. I know lines from when I was in year 3. We did the Jungle Book. I have Bagheera lines in my head. Like that's how. Baloo, do you see these tiger tracks? Shere Khan's right on our trail. I've got to check this out. Cue song. Look for the bare necessities. And then I walked back in.
That's a Bagheera song.
No, I didn't sing
Oh,
it.
okay,
I was like,
sorry,
I've got to
But
check
you
this
still
out. And then I
remember it,
ran
even
off
though you
stage and
didn't
then they
sing it.
sung bare necessities. And I came back on and I was like, Mowgli, where's Mowgli? He's been taken by the monkeys. And I pointed at the monkeys. Because the monkeys were like, ooh,
monkeys. You know,
we're
like monkeys.
The fact that I know that. I think I know the blocking as well, you know? Like I could
I
do.
can see it.
There was like a cute little yawn where I was like, "Oh, I'm tired."
It'll be interesting now, considering that it was a point where we were rehearsing like 3 times a week, and now at least for a week we aren't rehearsing at all.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head I'm like, oh yay, but there's also part of me that goes, oh man.
Yeah.
You
What
know?
else are you gonna do?
Because I like
Yeah.
going, and while 3 times a week is too much for me, like they have shows that I've been done that are 3. I mean, at least it was 3 different shows. But I've done shows that are 3 times a week for like 5 hours of the same show.
Yeah.
Those shows kind of drain, you know, and that's how you work professionally.
Well, it depends if it's a good show or
Well,
not.
that's
Like
a good
I had
point.
it. Like
That's a
I've
good
had a
point.
few shows that are like, you know, 4 or 5 times a week at some
Yeah.
points, and I would like they're good shows. So
That's a good point.
I'd happily spend my day just rehearsing exclusively.
Yeah.
But if I got paid for it.
Well, yeah, that's what actors
That's what
do.
actors do. Oh my god, do I want to be an
boom,
actor?
boom, boom. All of the lines.
Maybe I want to be an actor.
Maybe you should look into that.
It's almost like I want to be an actor. Maybe I do.
Yeah.
How do I be an actor?
That's the question. That's the easy question that you need to ask yourself. How do I do this one thing that's very easy to do? And
yeah. Anyway, what else? I have nothing right now. My brain is.
I went to.
Oh yeah, actually, you have
based
stuff.
upon
Tell us
my
stories,
because I
Aaron.
finished the based upon my whole want to make more things. It's kind of sparked by my short film that I made for uni, which I've talked about on the episodes before. Was chosen to be shown at Federation Square, which is a place in the city we live in. If you are listening, I don't know how.
For those international
none of us.
viewers.
I don't think anybody listens to this show that doesn't know us,
Or
at
doesn't
least
know
where we
where Fed
are,
Square
or
is.
doesn't know what Federation Square is. But it's
Federation.
it's a big Fed Square. Sorry, I'm trying to make myself look a bit more
Federation Square.
professional. Okay.
Pop it into your Safari window.
Yeah, use one of the many the search engines that exist in this world and find out something new.
What's the tree one?
Ecosia.
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 Yeah, I just started using it
Oh yeah, Ecosia is good.
because it says like planted trees, and I was like, oh, I
I
want to
plant a tree for
trees.
every search, I think, or something like that. It's good.
Ecosia sponsor us.
I'm not sponsored by tech companies. I don't trust them. But my short film me and my group partner's short film was chosen to be shown as part of one of the student film screenings at Fed Square, which is really cool.
That is really cool. His head was giant.
Yeah, I had a
Not
big...
like ego way. Both ways.
Actually, no. I think it crushed a little bit, to be honest.
Giant.
I can talk about that. But yeah, it was like, because they have these kind of big public screenings that are in. It's basically like the heart of the city.
Yeah.
Basically, it's one of the most populated areas of the city, and they have these like on this massive screen. Basically, they have a showing of the films. And it was really weird seeing something
Your
that I've
face.
made be put up on a place like that. I still can't really like comprehend it. In my head, it still doesn't really like. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's just like watching anything. And it's also because the film I can't watch anymore. Like that film, it's like I can't look at it because it's just, I don't know why. It happens a lot with some things that I make where it's not that I'm not proud of it. I think it's a really great piece and a lot of people love it, but I can't look at it without, like, I can't look at it objectively. I can just look at it and see all of the things that went wrong. But of course, nobody else knows that, so it's fine. And like my tutor was able to go like, oh yeah, it's still a good film. But it's hard for me to then even submit that to festivals, which I plan on doing, because I go, oh no, do I really like this film is like such a But it was interesting seeing it there because it sparked it wasn't this big inspirational moment, you know? Like you'd think seeing a work presented on that scale makes you go, oh, this is something I want to do. But it made me realize that moment is bullshit. You know?
Yeah.
I don't want to say it like that, but like, you know, that like, oh, this is my calling. I already had that. I've had that moment for the past like 15, 20 years. And I've always known that this is something I want to do. I don't, and I know I only realized that when I was looking at it being like, oh, I don't need somebody else to tell me that I should do this because I want to do this. Like, or rather I need to do this. I don't have a, I don't need some kind of external motivation.
Yeah.
I don't need to strive to have my face on the front of Fed
also-
Square. It's nice. It's absolutely nice. But it wasn't like this self-gratifying moment. It was more of like, oh yeah, this is just the next step, and because I like, it's just like it's a byproduct of something I enjoy rather than a goal to achieve, which is interesting. And I still don't really know how I feel about that revelation, whether it is good or bad, but it's
a revelation.
It's a revelation, and it kind of has altered the way I started thinking about. The way I even approach the way I make things, and it's more of a case of, well, this doesn't need to be, this is just something I love to do, you know, like, and then because this is something I love to do, the results will then match the output. So if I just enjoy it and will make it anyway, then the things I receive from it will be proportionate to the amount of effort I put in, if that makes sense. So it's not like I'm not making this to go on at Fed Square. I'm making it because I enjoy it, and then it will go on at Fed Square because I've put in enough work for it to.
Effort in.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that there's a balance to be found there in terms of how we approach artistic work. But at the same time, this is also something that is work and requires a mindset of work, and something that I find I was. You always go onto YouTube when you're procrastinating, and you watch videos about procrastination.
Really, that's not something I find myself doing.
You never do that?
I don't watch videos about procrastinating.
Oh no,
I will procrastinate by
watching something else.
Actually, I don't think I watch a video. I don't know how I procrastinate. This is what someone asked. Like, this is a complete tangent.
No, that's
which
fine.
we'll just briefly go on. I realized I don't procrastinate in the normal way. I don't think. Like, people.
What do you think is a normal way to procrastinate?
People are like, oh yeah, I scroll social media, or I like watch YouTube videos. I'm like, I don't really do those things.
What do you do?
I don't know, but I definitely procrastinate heaps.
Yeah, but what do you?
I put off doing things.
Yeah, but what do you do when you put off? Is there other things?
Yeah, but I don't know what those other things are. Like, I don't know. I don't do stuff a lot. Like, I'll go home and be like, I'm gonna do something, and then I don't end up doing it. But I don't know what. I think I just sleep.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or, like, I just lie. Like, I literally just lie in bed sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do that.
I'm just like.
The only time I can do that is when I'm trying to go to sleep. That's the only time I can lie in bed and be like, I'm literally not doing anything.
My brain is just so
and I
full
think
of
it's
things.
because
I'll just be lying there and just like thinking the thoughts.
Oh yeah. That's me from the hours of 11 p.m. to 4 a.m.
As you're
most
trying
nights.
to get to sleep.
Yeah. But the thing is, during the day, I try and drown all that out by putting so much else in front of my face. Where I'll have 8 different screens being like, "Hey, brain, shut up! Here, have loud noises and oh, don't whack the microphone."
I did.
It's not. I realize now, none of this is being.
I know. I keep going like this. I keep moving it when
it's
I
not even
let
gonna
that.
like change anything.
It might. No more
anyway.
cool ASMR.
I'm not using the crackled ASMR if it's crackling. So sorry. But yeah, I mean, procrastination is interesting. I mean, I made my. You've watched it. Everyone go and watch it. ALD
Go watch
presents.
it.
It's a video
ALD presents.
called The Sophomore Slump. No. Yes.
Yes.
It's very good. I'm very happy with it. I don't know if it's very good, but I'm very happy with it. It looks at.
I enjoyed it. I wanted all the footage from it.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of. It's a bit
cute Aaron
self-reflective.
footage.
Yeah, it's a lot of young me footage in it. But yeah, that's. I think. Where was I going with this? Procrastination.
Procrastination. We were procrastinating from continuing the podcast by talking about other things.
Yeah, well, that's what the podcast is, isn't it?
The podcast is just one big procrastination station.
To be honest,
kind of is.
it is.
Whoa.
But yeah, I mean that essay is very much about procrastination and finding the difficulty in basically sitting down and doing something. But I was watching a video on procrastination because that's what I do when I'm procrastinating.
And then I interrupted you saying I don't know how I procrastinate.
No, that's which I still want to interrogate, but I feel like you don't.
I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I don't have answers. I'm sorry. I'll think about it. Next time I'm procrastinating, I'll
try and actively think about it.
Actively think about how I'm procrastinating.
And procrastinate about what you're procrastinating about by thinking about what you're.
It'll be a vicious loop. I don't know. Because I don't spend hours on social media.
No, neither do I.
don't think. I don't know. Maybe I do. No, I don't think I do.
I'm trying to lessen my social. I mean,
I check my
already,
emails a lot. That's my new thing.
checking emails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's not checking Twitter.
Every time I open my phone, I check my emails.
Yeah.
I don't check messages. I don't check anything else. I'm like, ooh, emails. That's what I'm really interested in. Those work emails. Yeah, I want to see them even though I'm not working.
Is it because that it isn't? You know that there's an end to it. Like you can eventually stop checking emails.
Maybe.
Do you think that's why? I feel
because I know I'll only have a couple kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Or like I know that I can look at them. But like a lot of the time I'll look at email like I'll check my work emails for my Monday, Wednesday, Friday job on Tuesday and I won't do anything about it. I'll just look at them. I'll be like, oh cool, there's emails there. It's just like the knowledge that there's emails there and it's like I like knowing that I've checked the email. So when I go into the office on Wednesday, I'm like, oh, it's okay. I already know what these emails are, and I'll read them and then I'll mark them as unread.
Oh yeah, okay.
Just so I don't forget about like dealing with them. Like it's like a whole thing I've been doing recently. A lot of. I don't open Facebook anymore. I open my Outlook and I open my Gmail, and all my inboxes. Like I've got a couple of Gmails. I'll open both of them. I'll open my Outlook. I'll refresh them, and I'm like, why? All I ever get is ads. It's like
it's all spam.
Yeah.
Most of my emails
a random,
are just spam.
Audition for this, and I'm like, no.
Why?
Because it's like targeted
ones.
It's like ones that aren't actually. It'll be like, be an ambassador for our soap brand, and I'm like,
no.
I don't know what your soap brand is, and they're like, we'll send you free soap if you are our ambassador, and I'm like, I smell pretty nice, I think. don't need your.
As long as I know that I smell nice, that's the main thing. Smell is good enough for yourself. That's the trick.
If you don't smell to yourself, you don't smell to other people. That's not true,
philosophy.
folks. Wear deodorant.
No, I wear deodorant. I don't smell that bad sometimes. Depends how many days I've been inside.
Yeah, it depends how little you showered in that week. Apparently it's weird to shower every day.
Apparently it's not good for you to shower every day.
Apparently it's not good to wash your hair every day. I do both of those things.
Yeah, apparently that's not it's not, especially using sulfated shampoo every day causes damage to your hair.
I don't think I have sulfated shampoo. I use
good.
like some
I'm sure most shampoos
shampoo.
nowadays don't have sulfates in them, but yeah. I mean, you apparently shouldn't. I mean, showering every day is okay, but yeah, you shouldn't apparently.
Yeah, I know.
But what?
I don't know how to stop it.
What's the? It's like it's better to over. I think it's better to overwash your hair than to underwash your hair.
I don't know.
So,
but also like I mean, I also feel like there's some people who shower every day and they take like 30-minute showers every day. I take like a 30-second shower. Actually, it's not 30 seconds. It's actually about 2.5 minutes because it's never the full length of a song. Yeah, that's how I know it's a short shower. Because I put my Bluetooth speaker on and I never get through a whole song.
Yeah, I also shower very short.
And the song will be ending.
I feel like most of my life, whenever I went and stayed at somebody else's house and I would shower and come out, they'd be like, "You're done already," and I was like, "Do I just not shower for long enough? Am I like
but
not?"
I feel like I do all the steps.
I do all the things.
I condition it. I rub my whole body down.
I feel
rinse
like
it all
you know.
out. Like what I want to know is the people that are having 30-minute showers is
what
like
are you doing
like
the
are they
whole
just
time?
standing there? And then my question is like do you just stand there or do you like actively like are you rubbing your hair or are you literally just like tree?
Yeah, are you just like or is this like 5 seconds to do every single inch of your body?
Yeah,
to clean like that seems so excessive. I don't understand.
Do you sit down? Like people who sit down in showers, a bit weird. Gonna be honest.
I understand I feel like older people sitting down in showers for the sake of. I mean, actually, anyone. If you want to sit down and shower, I think it's okay. If you want to, because you can get shower seats. You can get those.
Yeah, sit on a shower seat. Don't sit on the shower floor though.
Oh no, but then the water gets cold by the time it reaches you.
I just feel like it's really like gross.
Why is it drained for a reason? You know?
But doesn't like bacteria live on the floor?
Probably. I mean, bacteria lives everywhere, and you're also in the shower. It's not like when you stand up, you don't clean yourself.
I don't know.
You know, of all the places I feel like to be dirty, it would be in the place that you want to clean yourself.
This is true. Still, something about sitting on a cold shower floor.
Yeah, no, that's sad.
Like feels really not
I feel like
fun.
that's kind of sad.
But if that's what you do, that's what you do. But if you take 30-minute showers, all I want to know is how do you stand for the other 7 minutes where you're not actively washing?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're meant to leave conditioner in for a little while.
Oh, I don't know that.
I don't really. I leave the conditioner in while I'm scrubbing my body. But that's all. I don't leave it for
I've noticed that ever since I've started shaving my head more regularly, my hair's become a lot more oily. I think because naturally when you have shorter hair, your head generates more oils. Or am I making that up?
No, I think that's true?
I don't know if this
I have
is
no
true.
idea.
Don't listen to us.
We don't know anything
We are
about
not scientists
the
or
keratin in the hair. Keratin?
Keratin.
That sounds good.
Or we're not hair experts, but ever since I've done that, when my hair has now grown longer, I've noticed that it's just naturally a lot oilier than it was beforehand. Even though I wash my hair still like as regularly, if not more regularly. And I think it's because like when my hair is short, I'm like, oh yeah, it's shampoo, conditioner, whatever, and then my hair just gets oily, and then that my head is now naturally producing the oils as if I don't have a lot of hair, but I do, and it just gets sucked up into the hair. But I found out recently, apparently, people bleach their hair to stop it from being oily.
That makes sense.
And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but I don't know whether or not I'll bleach my hair. I don't want to go like surfer dude and on like the coast, you know. I don't want that kind of a look. Maybe we'll see.
I went to flick my hair and forgot I had a beanie on, and I was like, "There's nothing. Why isn't it moving?"
But yeah, I don't know. Showering, am I right? What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Wasting time, and we were procrastinating. So I was watching this video on procrastination.
Oh yeah, back we go.
This is what I feel like we should do, and now we're not going to be able to do this because I'm going to say it out loud. But it would be funny if every time I mention the video about procrastination, we instead go on a tangent about something else and end up talking about something else for a good like section, and then eventually by the end of the episode, I don't even get to talk about this video that I watched about procrastination.
I see something that's done that. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But I find
feel like I've seen something that does that.
Yeah, I don't know how original I am, to be honest. I don't, so many ideas I have, and I go, oh, this is a good idea, and then I show it to people.
And then you realize someone's done it before.
Yeah. Although there are a couple things that I've written recently that I've shown to you that
that's so funny.
that I think are original ideas.
I don't know, but there's part of me that's like, surely that's been done before.
But like
we're not the only people that think that's funny.
Surely we would have seen it, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that we would have seen, or at least know about. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but I think it would still be cool. Anyway, so I was watching this video on procrastination, and the video basically talked about the difference between an amateur and a professional artist, and that difference being mindset, and that was the only difference.
What?
The difference between an amateur artist and a professional artist, this is for all art, is a mindset difference, and that's it. It's not about money. It isn't about how many people you are. It isn't about status or awards.
Oh, as in like.
What differentiates an amateur artist from a professional artist is that the professional artist has
by definition, not by
What?
Like because that could be taken two ways.
What do you mean?
Like that could be like, to be professional, all you need is a professional mindset, which is like the positive way of taking it.
Yeah.
Or it could be like, you're not professional, you're not working at a professional level, which is like defined by you're getting paid for your work because you're a professional or you're like qualified, which means that you have a terrible mindset.
What? No. But
but you meant the first one, right?
No. But like it's not that like if you make money and stuff, that doesn't mean that you're not a professional, because to get to those places you need to have a professional mindset. If that makes sense. But that professional mindset isn't exclusively to those who make money or have awards or things like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm saying
it's more.
What you're saying is there's this definition. You're proposing a definition for a difference between a defined version of professional or amateur. You're not saying like, because that's not the definition for a professional mindset. The definition, like...
Well, yeah, I guess by definition...
So you're like redefining professional as you just need a professional mindset and you can be a professional.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah.
It's not that like...
It's not that like...
The existing definition of professional, which means it's your occupation, you're getting paid for it, or you have a doctorate degree or garbaggio.
Yeah. No, those are all important things. And those are all things that are necessary in any field or in life, you know? It's important to be a professional at things. But the way to get, but it's different because in an artistic space, those things are quite difficult to come by, and they're viewed differently than professions, than any other profession, basically. Where in any other profession, qualification is professionalism and working is professionalism. But in creative art, because a lot of it is self-motivation, what differentiates a self-motivated artist, I guess that's probably better, to be a professional is a mindset difference. And that mindset difference is not waiting for things, basically. That's the core of it, is this idea that a professional artist will schedule, will sit down, will work, will put in the time to make things happen, because it's
by doing those things that inspiration is created rather than waiting for inspiration to come, if that makes sense. Which I thought was really cool. And that kind of was like, oh yeah, fun inspiration things for me to watch when it's like 11 o'clock at night and I can't sleep. But I think that's interesting to look at in our context, because I guess we both have other jobs outside of this, but for us, I think it's also important to recognize our creative journeys as something that we still also need to put time and effort into, and not forget that that those aren't just things that we put onto the wayside or things that we wait for, but things that we are constantly, which means that, you're working 3 jobs and I'm working 2, basically, like that's the truth of it. And unfortunately, that's just the only, one of your jobs is tangentially related, so it's more like 2.5, but it's like,
sorry, but that job that you're referring to, I already consider 2 separate jobs within one job. So I'm gonna say 3.5.
Yeah, that's fair. But
there are a lot of pans in the air. Pans, plates,
balls. What is the saying?
Balls.
What is the saying?
Spinning lots of plates.
It's spinning plates in the air.
Throwing lots of balls in the air. Juggling lots of balls.
Balls in the air, not bowls. You don't juggle bowls.
I put cereal in my bowls.
Yes, that I think is a normal thing to do. Cereal and soup and noodles and anything that requires a round, maybe something with liquid in it so that it doesn't spill, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to use a plate, obviously, because it would spill out the sides of a plate. So you'd want something that's like probably of a similar size to a plate, but is concave in a way that stops.
I wonder if that's how they invented spoons. They were like, Do
you mean bowls or do you mean spoons?
Spoons.
Okay, because I don't know where spoons came from.
Spoons are like the bowls of the cutlery world.
Yeah.
And plates are the forks. And knives are sharp.
Sharp as a tack, some might say.
Yet again, we need to record an episode in the daytime, so that I can remember what it's like to be sane.
Yeah, especially after we rehearse and then record an episode, which is tiring, because at the end of a rehearsal, turns out working.
Have we finished a sentence this entire episode?
Well, no, this is related. Turns out, performing is very tiring.
Really?
Yes. Because even just rehearsing.
I find performing energizing.
Oh no, it is. But once you've finished,
I feel like I end up with more energy post performances. I don't know.
Okay, rehearsing. Rehearsing is very tiring. I guess when you're performing, you have that adrenaline rush of an audience. You don't get that in rehearsal.
I do.
Oh, okay, good for you.
I get an adrenaline rush for even. I don't know. I think the feeling of being on stage feels like performance feels the same as rehearsal. Although I always perform better in a performance for some reason.
Yeah.
But that's just the weird.
That's the adrenaline.
Yeah.
Being pumped into your veins. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like every time I finish a rehearsal or a performance, I crash very quickly. And I'm just like, I'm tired and I've expelled a lot. That I now just need to sleep for like a good 4 to 5 days, and then come back. I don't know how people do like long shows that last for. I've never done a show. It would be fun.
I'd enjoy that,
but it would be very like. It would be tiring.
I feel like it would be good. Yeah, I feel like some people would really work well under that kind of vibe, and then some people wouldn't. Yeah.
It's always happening. That way you're never stopping. There's no time to procrastinate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most important.
That's it. Because the second there is time to procrastinate, I will procrastinate. What are you looking at? Is it time to wrap it up?
Left. No.
Oh. I was ready. I was like,
there's at least a good 10 minutes or so.
Oh, really? we don't try to hit a time though.
No, we don't. But I'm just saying. We can wrap it up.
I don't have anything else I needed to add. I don't think. That was all I'd saved in my little bank of things I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
Unless you have stuff.
I don't think so.
Anything else cool happened in your life between last week and this week?
I don't think so.
You talked about your film.
So I went to film a video essay yesterday. And it was really cool. I thought the idea was really cool. And just before I went to film it, I was like, because I wrote a script for it. And usually what I do when I'm recording is I'll try to memorize as much of the script as I can. And then I'll
just perform it, and then I'll look back and forth and do it in like chunks. But this time I thought, oh, why don't I get like a teleprompter on my phone and have that up and read off a teleprompter, which was a good idea in theory. So I mounted it on this tripod that we're being used currently to record me, and I had it facing me, and so I had it up there and had my script, and it was like teleprompting, and it was rolling, you know, as you do. And I go to edit the footage, and I'm looking up at the teleprompter the entire time, and it looks so bad. It just looks like I'm reading off a teleprompter, and I was like, oh no! And like, this was a very elaborate essay. Like I had set a bunch of stuff up for it. I'm trying not to spoil it because it'll eventually. We're gonna reshoot it eventually.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, what do I do? I'm like, I have to now think of something. I have to think of a brand new idea that I have to then script and write and record and change and everything. And I was like, oh, and it really kind of just bummed me out because I was like, this was meant to go up of the recording tomorrow of when you're listening to this, which you'll see a different one instead because I filmed that instead today before you came here to record the podcast in like 15-20 minutes. Which is a lot less. The scale has dropped down a lot, and it doesn't require massive upheavals. And I'm not reading off a teleprompter. But you know, sometimes I read it and I went, there are ways I need to fix that issue by just having the teleprompter be next to the lens or further enough away that it looks like I'm looking at the camera. And then you can get stuff like that where you can like put your phone and it like reflects it up onto on a mirror in front of the camera lens, so that's
a bit funky.
It looks a bit funky. Yeah.
Yeah, imagine just memorizing your lines.
Will you try memorizing a 1,500 word essay?
Okay, fair.
You know, like it's I can. It's just that like I don't want to. I
learn monologues. God damn it!
They're not gonna get that. That's a spoiler for our show, Ari. What have you done? You've spoiled us.
It's not a spoiler. No, it's a cheeky bit of
little preview.
Yeah. I don't even say the line. That's not even my line.
It's my line.
That's another reference to the show.
I feel bad writing a character. I don't know if this is just a me. I mean, I'm sure it's not just a me thing. But do you ever feel as if when you're writing yourself and you make yourself look good, you feel bad?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know?
I feel like I've never written a character about myself that I feel like looks good though.
That's fair. And I mean, there's parts of this character
mainly
that is
I
based
feel like
upon me.
my flaws are more funny to pick on.
Yeah, and I think in this case, while my character is, is good, I think that speaks more about how bad the character is. You know?
Yeah.
In the same way that it is for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I can't help but feel like, oh, am I really just writing something to inflate myself?
Yep.
You know, and I'm like, yeah,
it's fine.
As long as I'm self-aware about it,
yeah,
you know,
and no one else needs to know about it, but now they do.
Well, now they will. That's the whole point. Is I want to be transparent about it because it's like, you know, man.
And on that note, thanks for listening. Hope you've enjoyed this kind of obscure episode. We'll try and record something in a daytime, maybe on a weekend, so that it's a little
bit. It's just difficult nowadays because I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
This isn't a tangent. This won't be very long.
Okay.
Do we change the podcast to fortnightly?
No.
Okay, good. That's fine. That was just my question. The question has been answered. The answer is no, which is okay. It's just because we find it difficult to find a time to find every week that isn't late at night.
Well, we don't have to hit long podcasts.
No, that's true.
The other thing.
We can just finish whenever.
Just hi, check-in. Bye.
Yeah.
Next week's podcast will be 30 seconds long. It'll be, hi, welcome back.
Yeah, we're going to start making our 15-minute podcasts are going to go down to 10-second TikToks.
Oh, no, our 15-minute, our 1 hour podcasts are going to go back to the 15-minute podcast we originally started with.
That's true.
Like, what happened? Like, we were doing 10-minute episodes for a little while. It was a 7-minute one out of nowhere. Like,
my bonus episode like 6.5 minutes.
Like, what happened to trying? Why are we suddenly talking for so long? We don't need to talk for this long.
No, it's because we started having more things to talk about.
We're just more candid now.
And now we've run out of things to talk about. So
back to 15 minutes ago. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. We're not going to waste any more of your time. We'll see you next week. Or whenever the next podcast releases. And on that
it should be next week.
It better be next week. But on that note, we will
meet again.
Oh, are you freezing?